Roberts and Pruitt from the Defiance Daily show. Live every Friday at 11 a.m. Central. Please come and join us. We have a great time. Travis is amazing. We put on some good material. We do some great research. We had a great show today. I wanted to bring some clarity. I've had some questions. I briefly told a story from about 12, 13 something years ago, I think. I was doing some freelance. I was working some security, some personal security, some bodyguard stuff, other things. Anyway, I got offered a really good paying job one day. Watch over a group of girls for a birthday party, basically transport them to a location, hang out, wait, keep an eye, load them all back up, take them back home when it was all over with. I told a little bit of this story on the podcast today, May 16th, 2025. Let me elaborate a little bit because I've had a number of people that have reached out to me, shocked. Got some messages from some moms, got some messages from some dads. If I remember correctly, they were anywhere between, I'm going to say 12 and 13. Maybe there might have been an old 11-year-old, but it was basically 12, 13 years old. And I think the birthday party was for someone that just turned 13. So it was kind of a special birthday party. These girls apparently all went to school together. It was a public school in the Woodlands, Texas. Oh, the best schools in the country, and they're really good, and they're great public schools with good teachers, and oh, there's even some Christian teacher, all the bull crap. These girls were, and their families were all members of this same church, so they're church girls, very well dressed, not provocative at all, very respectful. I mean, yes sir, no sir. You could tell very well raised. Very well. I met all the parents, talked to them, got to know them a little bit so that they could get to know me. These parents were all very conservative. Some would even probably call them uptight, very upper middle class. The home that I picked these girls up at, I guess is the girl, it was actually her birthday, that I was going to be responsible for. And so now there were going to be parents at the destination where I was taking them to eat. It was a nice restaurant, and they were going to go and hang out there and do their thing and all that. But I was going to be keeping an eye on everybody. So we got in the car, got it all started up, getting ready to, pull out the circle driveway. And we no more got out of the circle driveway, turned onto the main thoroughfare. And one of the young ladies said, "Excuse me, sir." And I said, "Yeah, what you need?" "Sir, do you have an aux cord I could plug into the sound system and turn on some music?" And I said, "Sure, sweetie." And I pointed back and I said, "Just look back." And I forget, they had them, a couple of them back there in a particular place in the limo. He said, "Oh, okay, thank you very much, sir." And I, no problem, and I'm thinking they're going to put on some teeny bop, silly stuff, but nothing bad. Holy crap. Folks, I think about this all the time. It makes me sick to my stomach. It was so awful. It's hard to describe. Those of you that know me know that I love both kinds of music. I love country and western. Okay, with that being said, this crap came on. It's not music. I don't call rap music. It's not. That stuff is vile crap is what it is. Mom, Dad, if you listen to that shit, if you allow your kids to listen to that, we're going to touch on this in a minute. You are failing as a parent. You're failing because this stuff is vile. The lyrics that started coming out of the speakers in this limo were so disturbing. I'd never heard anything like this. I'm sorry, maybe I am a little naive, maybe. The lyrics were so disgusting and it's not even sexual, it's animal. These are animals producing this stuff that are shouting this stuff, whatever it is. But it was rap. I guess you would call it gangsta rap, some garbage from an animal, vile, disgusting culture. That's not the worst part of it. These beautiful, sweet, God almighty, I just thinking of it, it just breaks my heart. These beautiful, sweet, I thought innocent girls were singing these lyrics at the tops of their lungs and laughing about it. I can only give you one example of the lyrics that I can just, this is the best. This is the cleanest part of the lyrics. You ready? By the way, if you got kids listening to this, do not shut it off. You go back and kids do not need to be hearing this. I'm going to use spelling. I can't even say it because I'll get banned. I'll get canceled. Even though these are lyrics that the people in this culture, they sing this stuff all the time, no problem. But these are prim and proper, innocent little white girls growing up very upper middle class to very conservative parents who obviously have worked pretty hard at keeping them, going to church and probably watching them closely and taking them to soccer practice and softball and getting them in the act, doing quote unquote everything right according to today's society, which is all bullshit. But anyway, another story. Hearing these girls sing, yeah, I want that N-word, like N-word, not N-word like I-N-W-A-R-D. I'm talking about N-word like capital N, in parentheses, word, the N-word. I want that N-word, C-O-C-K, in my tight ASS. I'm going to let that sink in for a second, folks. Now, if that doesn't disturb you, there's something wrong with you. There is something spiritually and mentally wrong with you. Very, very wrong with you. Okay? You're off. You're not a good person. That story that I just told should make you ill. Should make you ill. Now, there might be some of you that are going, Mark, you're shocked by this? That is so common, it's not even funny. Oh, God. And I'm afraid that is the reality of all this. What I'm afraid of is what I witnessed was common. These girls were having the time of their life singing these, and they had no regard that a grown man was listening to them. I'm thinking back when I was 12 years old as a boy. First of all, I wouldn't have, if somebody would have said anal sex, I wouldn't have known what they were talking about. I know that sounds crazy to some of you. That's a fact. I wouldn't have known what you were talking about. I don't even know if I knew what vaginal sex was. These girls are repeating lyrics that are so disgusting, so gross, so vile, and laughing and cutting up. So some of you are thinking right now, well, did you make them turn it off? Sorry, folks. No, I can't. No, I didn't make them turn it off. Let me tell you why. A couple of reasons. Number one, I couldn't do it. That was my job. I would have been terminated. That would have been it. Word would have spread in that industry. The only way you get jobs is because of your reputation. Here's the other thing. This is what I did think about. I was thinking about, I have got to tell their parents. And then I thought, no, I can't tell their parents. I got to tell their fathers. I think for some reason in my soul, my spirit, telling the mom is not going to be beneficial. I got to tell the fathers. I've got to tell them what I witnessed. The more I thought about it, the more I thought about myself and having 2 daughters of my own, putting myself in that father's position who really truly believes in his heart of heart that he has raised a very sweet, loving, kind, innocent little girl. And then some guy, back then I'm a big muscle guy, personal, I'm a former law enforcement Marine, doing bodyguard, personal protection. I want to say, hey, Mr. Smith, I just want you to know that as soon as we pulled out of your driveway, your daughter put on a soundtrack, and these are some of the lyrics. Folks, he would have never believed me. Just like a lot of you who have daughters this age that are in public school, and your daughters are doing this, and you're oblivious to it. You think you would know it. I am telling you, you have no idea. If your kids are in public school, I don't care what you think. I don't care how much you take them to church. You've lost. You've lost. The people your kids are around, the stuff they're learning in school, the culture, the rot. I don't care, folks, what you say. They're getting that however many hours a day. They're spending 30 or 40 minutes with you maybe a day. Maybe. Okay, call it 2 or 3 hours. They're not. I know they're not. Because you're watching TV. You're doing other stuff. Don't bullshit me. Don't bullshit a bullshitter. I was a parent. I know how this goes. I am telling you, folks, we are in big trouble. And fathers, it's your fault. It ain't the mom's fault. It ain't the mom's fault. It ain't the mom's fault at all. And the mom's not going to be held, the mom will not be held responsible. That's why women don't take accountability for stuff. Because they're not wired to. They're not responsible. Men, fathers, husbands, men. And if you're just a male, if you're an emasculated male, sorry, you're still responsible. You have male genitalia DNA. You're going to be held responsible. Folks, better wake up. This story, it is as true. I swear it on everything that's holy. And then as soon as I got those girls back home during the party, I'm watching them interact and I'm going, nobody knows. These girls are good. I mean, they play the part. Every one of them. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Get back in the limo, and they could tell. They knew that when they got back in the limo and were going back to the house, they knew that I was upset. They knew that what I heard was shocking. They knew it. I could tell by the way they looked at me. And it was almost like, first of all, they didn't care. And then once their mask had moved, and I'd seen what they actually are, they didn't care. And they knew I wasn't going to say anything. They knew I wasn't. They knew. I'm telling you, folks, this was one of the most... It was one of the times that really shook my foundation. That's when I think I began the journey of being red-pilled. I look back at, I think that was the first day that I started reevaluating what I'd learned all my life about life in general, the difference between boys and girls, men and women, all these different things that I grew up with that I was like, holy cow, this is terrifying. By the way, they weren't listening to the music on the way back. It's a short drive back home after from the restaurant back home. And I don't know how to describe it, but the energy was just like, all right, let's get back in the groove of being, who we're playing like we're being. I don't know how to, but they are good. They were good. And it made me sick to my stomach. And I hated the fact that I couldn't tell their parents, because I truly believe their parents didn't know. I know their dads didn't. Their dads would have been absolutely crushed. If I had a video of their daughters singing those lyrics in the back of that limo and how they were acting and gyrating, I don't think the fathers would have responded, like, I'm going to whip your ass and whatever, or even ground you for life. I know if it would have been me, I would have been so devastated. I don't know if I would have recovered from that. I really don't. I don't know if I would have recovered from that. It was that horrible. So I say all this not to be, a downer here, all I'm saying is, men if you're a male, listen up. You're going to be held accountable. Your wife's not going to be held accountable. She's not even responsible. So if you're letting her pull the switches and flip the levers and steer the vehicle and make the decisions, and if you guys are a partnership, yeah, okay, well, I'm just going to let you know your partner is not going to be accountable for any of this. You are. So you better pull your ass you better pull your head out of your ass. You better reevaluate some things. You better start asking some better questions. You better look for some better sources. Because being a man is not what you think it is. It's very different. It's not just being in charge. No, it's living in the fear of being held accountable for everything. That's what it is. And all of a sudden, the things you think that are important, they ain't important anymore. You're pursuing happiness, pleasure, retirement. Yeah, you're not a man. I'm sorry. You're not a man. You're nowhere close to being a man. Again, folks, I was where you're at. That's what I was doing. I was guilty of all that. I was the worst. I was the biggest simp. I was pathetic. Even though a lot of people probably looked at me and thought, oh, you're a man. Dude, Marine, rough, tough, ex-cop, all that. I wasn't a man. I was pathetic. It's pathetic. I failed my kids. Sickening. Being a man, the first thing is coming to the realization that you, by yourself, no one there to help you, no one there to rescue you. You're responsible. No matter what happens, no matter how it happens, no matter who's involved, you are 100% responsible. Period. End of story. You're accountable. Whew. That's a tough day, folks. That's a tough day. And that day will change your life. So if you're a male, I encourage you, you better get some stuff turned around. Otherwise, your life is going to be, not only is it, you'll never find happiness, you're never going to find pleasure, because that's not an equation for men. Sorry, that's just not. So not only you're never going to be, happy, like, oh man, I'm just so happy. No. Oh, just finding pleasure. No. Not only you're never going to find any of that, but you're going to be dealing with real failure and real regret of things that really, really matter, that truly matter. Not a good day. So, step up. Let this be the first day of your journey towards true masculinity, true manhood, taking responsibility and acting like it. It's what we need. It's what America needs. I hope you join us. Anyway, God bless you. God bless each and every one of you. Tune in on Fridays, 11 a.m. Central, for the Defiance Daily Show, live on Rumble. Tell your friends. Bring some friends. We talk about some great topics. We talk about things like this. We discuss things. Don't think you're necessarily going to agree with everything. It's okay. You don't have to. Some things you probably will, but we do have a lot of fun. We do cut up some. But I'm very proud of the show. I'm very proud of the content. It is an honor, and I mean this, it's an honor to work with Travis Roberts, the son of one of my best friends that I've known for most of my life, Dave Roberts, who passed away almost a year ago. Miss you, Dave. Dude, miss you, brother. So anyway, come and join us on Fridays. Till then, love you guys. God bless.